am present with you all with a new topic of English grammar, active and passive voice. This is a kind of topic that the students generally feel problem with. They get confused while doing the sentences of active and passive voice. Today I am going to give you very simple tricks to understand active voice and passive voice. First of all, let us try to understand what are active voice and passive voice. Generally, active voice are such sentences where the action shown by the verb, it is performed by the subject of the sentence. Subject of the sentence means a sentence has three parts generally: subject, verb and object. So the subject of the sentence performs the action in active voice, whereas in passive voice your subject receives the action denoted by the verb in that sentence. What happens with the students generally? Students are generally confused with the sentences because the students try to find that by word in the sentence. When they find the use of by in the sentence, they consider it as passive voice. If the sentence does not contain by in it, they consider it as active voice. Let me give you the sentences to make it more clear. If I give you a sentence that he will repair your fan by Monday, and another sentence that I can give you, it is my pen has been stolen. So in first sentence, he will repair your fan by Monday, there you can see I have used the word by in it. But it does not mean that your sentence is passive voice, because see the structure of the sentence. He will repair. The work of repairing will be done by your subject. So here the subject is doing the work. If your subject is doing the work, this means your sentence is in active voice, not in passive voice. In the same way, the second sentence which I have given to you, my pen has been stolen. My pen has been stolen, but here your subject is my pen. But the work of stealing has not been done by my pen. Instead, someone is there who had stolen my pen. So this is how the subject, my pen, it is receiving the work of being stolen. It is not doing the work of stealing. So this is how you do not look at the word by in the sentence. Do not search the word by in the sentence. Just check whether your subject is doing the work or receiving the action. If your subject is doing the work, your sentence is active voice. If the subject is receiving the work, your sentence is passive voice. Let us talk about some rules of changing an active voice sentence into passive voice sentence. Very first rule. There are 12 tenses at all: present indefinite, past indefinite, future indefinite, present continuous, past continuous, future continuous, present perfect, past perfect, future perfect, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous and future perfect continuous. So out of these 12 tenses, there are 4 tenses which do not have their passive voice. These 4 tenses are future continuous tense and all the perfect continuous tense. All the perfect continuous tense means present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense and future perfect continuous tense. So remaining 8 tenses are there which can be converted into their passive voice. Now next thing, when we change a sentence which is in active voice, when we change it to passive voice, generally what happens, the object of active voice takes place of subject in passive voice, means the object of active voice becomes the subject of passive voice, whereas the subject of active voice becomes the object of passive voice, which is added to the sentence by using word by before it. So that is the very first thing that you all have to do. So this was about subject and object. Let us talk about the verb also. While using the verb in passive voice, don't think at all, don't be hesitated at all in using third form of verb, main verb. Third form of verb is also called as past participle form of verb. So don't be hesitated at all in using third form of verb in passive voice. Next to it, when we are using the third form of verb, it takes a helping verb before it, and it is a very magical thing. You will be completely surprised if I say we only use one helping verb in all the 8 tenses, not in all 8 tenses, in all the sentences of passive voice, whether they belong to these 8 tenses which remains out of 12, or the sentence which have the use of modal auxiliaries. Can you guess which is that helping verb that we use in passive voice before the third form of verb? One helping verb that we use all over in passive voice, it is be. How it is be? Because when we use be in simple present tense, it is used in its simple present form. And what are the simple present form of be? Is, are, am. When we use in past tense, simple past tense, the same be becomes was and were. If we use in simple future tense, so simple future tense contains a modal auxiliary will or shall after it. So whatever modal auxiliary has been used, don't be confused. Write at will be, shall be, can be, could be, should be. Like whatever modal auxiliary has been used, you have to use be along with it in passive voice. So that is very simple rule. Let us talk about present continuous tense. What is the structure of present continuous tense? Is, are, am plus ing form of the verb. So here you have to use is, are, am plus ing form of helping verb. Is, are, am plus being. Is being, am being, are being, and third form of verb in passive voice. After that, if we talk about the same past continuous tense, was being and third form of verb, and were being third form of verb. Future continuous does not have any passive voice of it. Let's talk about perfect tense. Present perfect, past perfect and future perfect. Because perfect tense already takes third form of verb, so we are going to use third form of be as a helping verb along with has, have and had. In present perfect tense, we will use has been, have been and third form of verb. In past perfect, we will use had been and third form of verb. The same in future perfect. In future perfect tense, we will use will have been and shall have been. Very simple to understand the use of helping verb in passive voice. And if we talk about modal auxiliary, no problem, use be along with the same modal auxiliary in passive voice. And be sure you need not to change the tense. Generally it happens with the students, they get confused between active and passive voice and direct and indirect speech. Generally what happens in direct and indirect speech, we will cover this lesson in next video. In direct and indirect speech, when our reporting verb is in past tense, the reported speech, the tense of reported speech changes to past tense. So they get confused. So here in active and passive voice, you are not going to change the tense at all. Be sure about it. If the sentence is in present indefinite tense, so its passive voice will also remain in present indefinite tense using is, are, am, the form of be of simple present tense along with the third form of main verb. So that is very simple rule. Don't be confused at all. That is my request to everyone. Next to it, if we talk about the imperative sentences. If we are talking about imperative sentences, the imperative sentences are those sentences which generally give orders, they give suggestions, or they give some advice, they make some requests. So these are imperative sentences. While changing to imperative sentences, there are certain different ways to write the passive voice. One way is, if we have an object there, so we can start the passive voice while using let. Let, then new subject, be, and third form of verb. The same sentence can also be written by using should be as a passive voice. We will cover everything while using the examples. And next, one more is there, using the mood of the sentence, like suggestion, advice, whatever the mood of the sentence is. So you can start it like you are requested, you are ordered, you are suggested, you are advised. So like this you can use, but be sure after using these moods, you are going to use infinitive form of verb, that is to plus first form of verb. Like you are requested to walk on the left. Okay, so this is how to walk. This is infinitive. So this is how you are going to change the imperative sentences. If we talk about interrogative sentences, so interrogative sentences remain interrogative. Like if the sentence starts with why, your passive voice will also start with why. If it starts with when, your passive voice will start with when. And if it starts with who, then it will not start with who. Then your passive voice will start with by whom. And as soon as you use by whom, after by whom, you are going to use the helping verb of that tense which is going to be used in passive voice. So that helping verb will follow the word by whom. And if already there is by whom in active voice, so you will use who in passive voice. So who will be changed to by whom and by whom will be changed to who. And this is how you will change interrogative sentences. One more thing about active voice sentences. Sometimes you get a sentence in active voice which contains two objects in it. Okay, how will you identify the object? This is the question. To identify the object in any sentence, you have to ask a very simple question, taking your verb with that question word, what or whom. Just like if I say I am eating banana. I am eating banana. So in this sentence, if I ask I am eating what, you will get the answer banana. So this is the object of your sentence. So if there is an object in the sentence, then only you will be able to change it into passive voice. Otherwise, the sentences without object cannot be changed to passive voice. Generally, this is the simple rule. But sometimes we have two objects in one sentence. If I give you a sentence that my father brought me a nice present. So my father brought what? A nice present. So this is one of the object, and the answer that we get as what? This is the direct object. My father brought to whom? Kiske liye? That is me. The present was brought for me. So me is indirect object of the sentence. So while changing such type of sentences to passive voice, you can take any of the object, either direct object or indirect object, as the subject of your passive voice. And while using me as a subject, it will be written as I, and remaining, if any direct object is there like present, so present will be written the same as it is. So these are some basic rules which you have to remember while changing active voice into passive voice. Let us try to understand them with the help of some examples, how we are going to use helping verb and how we are going to use third form of verb. If we take the first example, the cat kills the mice. So this is the habit of the cat, that it always kills the mice. The cat kills the mice. So this sentence is in simple present tense. And how will you identify the tense? Simple present tense, if there is simple present tense, you will find a verb in its present tense, either s or es has been used with the verb or without s or es. If the subject is plural, the verb will be simply without s or es. If the subject is singular, s or es will be there with the verb. So the cat kills. So this is simple present tense, kills, s has been used here. Or if the sentence is negative or interrogative, there will be use of helping verb do or does. So go through the sentences, the structure of the sentences to identify the tense properly. Okay, so the cat kills the mice. The mice are the object of your active voice. So your passive voice starts with the mice. The mice. Now, as I have told, we use always the form of be in passive voice. So the mice in simple present tense, form of be are, is, are, am. The mice are plural, so we are going to use are after them. The mice are, third form of verb, killed. So the mice are killed. By whom? By cat. So this will be your passive voice. Let us take another sentence. The police caught the thief. This time I have used the verb caught. You will be confused again. Catch, caught, caught. So caught is second form also and third form also. So how can you understand whether it is second form or third form? So this is second form. How it is second form? If it had been the third form of verb, this sentence must have been in perfect tense using has, have or had before it. But there is not any use of has, have or had. So this is simple past tense. If the sentence is in simple past tense, we are going to use was or were as a helping verb and third form of verb. So your passive voice will be the thief. Now it is one. The thief was caught. Now who has the duty of catching the thief? Police only. So there is no need to write the word by police. The thief was caught. It's enough because the by police is understood. And this thing you have to remember, the elimination of by part. When the doer of the action is unknown, you do not know who has done the action, or it is understood that no one else other than this one can do the work. So in that situation, in passive voice, generally we eliminate that by part. Okay, the by part which is generally used in passive voice, it is eliminated. We do not use it. So the thief was caught by the police. Instead of writing by the police, you will write the thief was caught. That is enough. Let us take another example. Who will teach us French? So this sentence contains the use of modal auxiliary will in it. That shows this is also in future indefinite tense. So let us understand it in the term of modal auxiliary, because it is also very necessary to understand. Who will teach us French? So as I had told, when there is use of who, what do we do? Who is changed to by whom. By whom. Now the helping verb will has been used here as a modal auxiliary, so we will use will be. So instead of using by whom will be, we will use by whom will. And be, been, being, all of them will be used just before the third form of verb. So by whom will, now take the object after it. What is it? French. By whom will French. Now third form of verb using be before it. Be taught. By whom will French be taught to us. And us can also be taken as a subject. So in that way you will write by whom will or shall we. By whom shall we be taught French. So that will be the passive voice of it. So in this way, when you are using an interrogative sentence and there is two parts of helping verb like can be, will be, shall be, had been, is being. So those be, been, being, they will be used just before the verb, and remaining part means will, shall, is, are, am, has, have, if they are there before the words be, been or being. So these words will be used just after the question word, and a question mark will be put at the end of the sentence because it remains interrogative. If the sentence in active voice is interrogative, passive voice will remain interrogative in itself. Let us take one more example of continuous tense and then we will take one example of perfect tense. So as a continuous tense, let us take the example, he is praising me. He is praising me. This is the example in present continuous tense. So now in present continuous tense, the form of be in present continuous will be like this: is being, are being, or am being. So he is praising me. So me is the object, will be taken as a subject. Then me as a subject will be I am being. I am being, because are being, is being, am being. So out of this we are going to use am being. I am being. Now third form of verb, praised. I am being praised by him. That is very simple passive voice for it. So this is how, whether it is present continuous or past continuous, you will be able to do it very easily. Let us take one example of perfect tense. And in perfect tense, I will take the example of future perfect tense. In future perfect tense, I can take the sentence, I can give you the sentence, our team will have won the match. Our team will have won the match. So here the match is the object. So let us start the sentence with the match. The match will have been. Third form of verb of be is been. The match will have been. Now third form of verb won. The match will have been won by whom? By our team. So this is how you will find active and passive voice to be done very easily. Let us take some examples of imperative sentences. How you can change imperative sentences into three different forms of passive voice. Let us take the example. As an imperative sentence, if I give you the very first sentence, drink milk every day. So this kind of sentence can be changed to passive voice by starting with let. I have told you, let milk be. Let milk be drunk. Third form of verb. Let milk be drunk every day. Or now I had also told you to use should be. So you can also write this sentence like milk should be drunk every day. Milk should be drunk every day. And now third way I had told to use the mood of the sentence. So this can be an advice. I am giving you an advice of drinking milk every day. So I can use it like you are advised to drink milk every day. You are advised. Advised, I have already used the third form of verb here. So after that you will use infinitive, to drink. Okay, so you are advised to drink milk every day. So these are three different types of sentences which we can get in passive voice for an active voice of imperative sentence. So let us take one more example. Don't disturb them. In this example you can see, first of all, start with let them. After let, we always use object form of the pronoun. We can't say let they, we will say let them. And after that, because it is negative, we will say not. Let them not be, now third form of verb, disturbed. Let them not be disturbed. Don't write let they. Let them will be there. Let them not be disturbed. Or now using should be. They should not be, because it is negative. So should not be. No, don't write should be not. Should be not will be incorrect. Okay. So they should not be, and third form of verb disturbed. They should not be disturbed. Taking the mood of the sentence, because it is negative, it is forbidding us from doing any verb. So you are forbidden. And when we use forbidden, forbidden means not allowed. This is a negative word, not allowed. So you are forbidden to disturb them. Don't use not to here. You are forbidden to disturb them. If you want to use not to, so don't use forbidden. You can write it, you are ordered not to disturb them. Then ordered, then negative word can be used not to. Otherwise, if you are using forbidden, forbidden itself is a negative word. You are forbidden to disturb them, or you are ordered not to disturb them. So this is how there will be a change. Let us take one more example of imperative sentence. So in this example, let me give you the sentence, please help the needy. In this sentence you can see there is a request, please. So generally when there is a request, directly it is showing that the sentence has a request. So don't start with let or should be. Always say you are requested to. You are requested to help the needy. Because this is simply showing a request, there is no doubt in it. So you are requested to help the needy. This will be the sentence that you will prepare for it. Don't use let or should be in it. So now I think active and passive voice, this topic will have become very easy for you, and you are going to do wonders in active and passive voice in coming examination, coming tests. And if you have found that this video is really very helpful for you all, active and passive voice have been explained to you in a very well manner. So don't forget to fulfill my desire, because it is you only who can complete the target of my subscribers. Please keep on subscribing the channel and keep on motivating your friends and other people whosoever comes to your contact to keep subscribing my channel, so that I may be get inspired, I may be get motivated, I may be get encouraged to make such interesting videos, such learning videos in more number. So don't forget to subscribe my channel. Please do subscribe my channel, share my videos, and don't forget to like it. Thank you very much. We will meet in another video.